Hey guys, in this video we're going to take a look at a new element called the span element and how it will come into play with typing up the responses to our tech interview. So to give you an example, I'm going to save this file as interview.html. Important is to have the .html because that will enable Sublime Text to do all the color coding and auto-completing that we like. So one auto-completing thing is to type less than ht and then tab, and it will create the entire interview.html file. So rather than do a tech interview like you guys did, I thought that I could cover the topic that I want to cover, but use this famous scene from a movie. I'm going to choose a scene from the movie Pulp Fiction. So maybe I'll create an H1, so scene from Pulp Fiction. And the scene I'm going to choose is a dialogue between Vincent and Samuel Jackson's character Jules. And let's see, I know there's going to be some stuff I have to censor here, but okay, cool. It's a famous movie quote. So I'm going to actually start with Vincent right here and just jump straight to the "you know what you call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris" dialogue. So each line is going to be its own paragraph. So you've got Vincent first, and Vincent is going to say this line. Next up, I'm going to have a line from Jules, and Jules is going to say, "They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese." Then Vincent is going to have his next line. So Vincent is going to say, "No, man, they got the metric system over there. They wouldn't know what a quarter pounder with cheese is." All right, next up we've got Jules. So Jules is going to have his next line. He's going to say, "What do they call it?" Next up, we're going to have Vincent again, and Vincent is going to say, "They call it a Royale with cheese." And then Jules is going to say, Jules is going to say, "Royale with cheese. What do they call a Big Mac?" And then Vincent is going to have his last line, and Vincent is going to say, "Big Mac's just a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac." All right, cool, great. So I'll get rid of this, and I'm going to load up the interview document. So let's see, we've got Vincent. Oh, I misspelled it to start. And it looks kind of like a script. Now, the important thing with the script is when you're doing an interview, you usually have a questioner and an answerer. You'll have two parts. And to help you to help your viewer distinguish one part from the next, we can use some HTML styling or some CSS to help us out. So I'm just fixing. Well, I'll leave the quarter pounder in uppercase because I guess it's the name. So here's some styling that we can apply. So maybe we want, when we have this file, to have all of Vincent's lines be easily recognizable. So what we can do is we can give all of Vincent's paragraphs, so this one, oops, I won't, this one, and this one, and I'll give them a class, and I'll say Vincent lines. And I'll use an underscore there so that it's clear that there's a space, but I can't put a space here or else it'd mean two different classes. And I'm seeming to have some trouble spelling Vincent. So Vincent lines. All right, so let's go into our style tag in the header and in the head and type in Vincent lines with a dot. So we're selecting all things of the class Vincent lines, and we're giving them a font style of italic. And now all the Vincent lines are italic, and they're easily distinguishable from the Jules lines. And I actually think this is really common in an interview. I know this dialogue isn't an interview, but in an interview where the questions are in italic, and then the non-questions, the answers, are in normal font. So one more thing that we can do to make it a little bit easier to distinguish what's going on in this interview is we can actually color the word Vincent so that all of these Vincents are actually like the same color, and all of these Jules are the same color. So I want to select just the text Vincent. So just these four, like who's saying it kind of lines. Not the whole text that he's saying, but just his name. So I'm actually gonna give I'm going to use a new HTML element called a span. And what a span is it's an element that you can put around text, like this. Actually, I'll put the dot dot outside. And what that will do is it'll allow me to select just the Vincent part of the text, because this text is inside of a span. But in order to select just this Vincent part of the text, then I need to give this a class. So I'm going to give a class of Vincent. So now dot Vincent, and we'll do color blue for Vincent. And so now you can see I've done it for that one. So to fix it for the rest of it, what I have to do is I just have to take this class span, and everywhere where I see Vincent, so I'm going to highlight it once, and then Command D and Command D to highlight it all three places, Control V, or sorry, Command V. And so now what you see is instead of having the word Vincent ever isolated, the word Vincent is always inside of the span with a class of Vincent. So now save it and refresh it, and all of the Vincents are blue. I'm going to do something similar with Jules. I'm going to make all of the Jules red. So let's see, I'm going to take this Jules, and I'm going to put it inside of a span. Oops, I'll do that slower, sorry, span. And then I'll end the span after the word Jules. I'll give Jules his own class. So let me zoom in a little bit. So his class is Jules. And now everywhere where I had just plain Jules before, I'm going to replace it with this span version. And what that will let us do is it will let us, sorry, so I'm just highlighting all of them with using the Command D trick, and then Command V. Oops, I got an extra one, sorry. I just undid that. So this Jules and this Jules, Command V. And now all the Jules are inside of spans. However, they're not styled because I haven't done anything in the style section. So select all things with class Jules and color them red, save it, refresh it. And so now we've got Jules in red. And I actually think one more thing that would look nice here is if instead of having Vincent the word be italicized as well, maybe just what he says will be italicized. I can go and do font style normal for all of the Vincent lines. Or not all the Vincent lines, but for all the Vincents. And so now I've got a back and forth dialogue between Vincent and Jules, where Vincent's lines are easily distinguishable from Jules's lines. I think that you guys should make use of this when you're doing your interview.html, well, sorry, your TechBlog 3 interview that you just did for homework. Great, I hope this helps. Bye.